What's going on, guys? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We've got to talk about what's going on with OpTiC Scump, OpTiC Hex, and their new partnership, ROOBET. See, I came across this article from Insider Gaming titled, OpTiC Comes Under Fire for ROOBET Gambling Streams. Now, personally, I'm not necessarily against gambling whatsoever. Like, if you want to go to a casino and you want to gamble or you want to do some sports betting, I'm all for that. Heck, even if you want to be an influencer and go to the casino and gamble, I'll probably subscribe to you. I like a lot of that content. It's a lot of fun to watch people have these major wins at the casino. I draw the line, though, with these online casinos, especially when these people partner with the online casinos, because it feels a little bit more manufactured. It feels a little bit more fake. It feels rigged. And it's hard not to get that feeling when you watch these live streams, when you're sponsored by ROOBET, the platform that you're gambling on. But let's dive into this article and let's dissect it a little bit further. The article starts off with, in recent weeks, OpTic's most prolific creators alongside the likes of Nadeshot have come under intense scrutiny after jumping on board with ROOBET, a crypto-based online casino. In streams featuring Scump and Hex, followers have been subjected to the OpTiC team playing slots and games on ROOBET, also taking their gambling activities to kick.com. It was just days ago that Hex and Scump revealed they'd secured a bag in an all-new ROOBET partnership that predicated them setting up and hosting gambling livestream events. But fans are not happy and are venting on social media. And I mean, I'm just looking at the most recent OpTiC Scump tweet here, and it says, people used to look up to you. You should be embarrassed that you ruined your integrity for some money, like you didn't have enough already. That's a sentiment that's being shared right now online. And how can I blame anyone for feeling that way? Honestly, why does it feel like every single massive creator is now shilling out for some online casino? I get that money's great, but at some point you should have a little bit of integrity. But I guess it's easy to buy it for these gambling websites that prey on people to just continue losing money and losing money and losing money. Meanwhile, these creators continue cashing in massive bets just somehow coincidentally. It's weird. They're all partnered with ROOBET and they all get these massive wins. But you, utilizing real money that you work hard for, you're left with all the losses. Just weird how that happens. Why is Scump gambling on streams? It wouldn't be as bad for some, but many viewers have commented on how Scump in particular doesn't appear to be genuine during his gambling streams and is not playing his part properly. He and Hex have started streaming certain slots on ROOBET, hosting broadcasts that many assume are worth tens of thousands of dollars. ROOBET has previously partnered with other celebrities, so this isn't anything new, but many are on the side of this being irresponsible by Scump, whose audience is mostly impressionable youngsters. Yeah, people under 18. Let's promote gambling to a bunch of under 18 kids. Yeah, really smart. Nadeshot has also spent a few weeks dabbling in the gambling game, flying out to Mexico to circumvent the laws in the United States that prohibit some gambling activity and broadcasting from there instead. He faced backlash after jetting out to Mexico to host gambling streams while 100 Thieves, the organization he founded, held layoffs. Yeah, these are the people you look up to, by the way. We're going to lay you off, but meanwhile, while you're reeling about a job loss, I'm just going to fly to Mexico because I have this great new partnership that I have to take advantage of because I need more money. You don't get any. I just laid you off, but I get the money because I'm Nadeshot. And I don't want this to come across as like hate or genuine disdain for these guys. It's just very clear that the money is clouding their judgment and they're making bad decisions based on chasing money, which is not something I think these people should be doing. You have a lot of it. Do you really need to sell out your integrity for some more? It just seems really frustrating. But the article continues. It has been argued that OpTic's endorsement of a gambling platform like ROOBET sends a troubling message, especially considering the brand's legacy and influence in the Call of Duty esports space. It's a well-known fact that betting makes up a huge portion of esports revenue, but slots are a different thing entirely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to necessarily comment too much on the gambling inside the esports space. It's not something I do at all, but I mean, to each their own. If you want to gamble on esports, go right ahead. It's not the end of the world, but I do have some issues here. But this goes further. It's not just about them gambling, it's about their perspective on gambling. As OMG It's Birdman points out, why did OpTiC kick Pred off the team just for them to get sponsored by ROOBET? They tarnished that guy's PR for nothing. Now, for those of you that don't know, Pred was kicked off of OpTic's roster because he had a gambling problem. But yes, please make sure that you secure the bag to an online casino so that you can make the money while you kick other people out of your organization. Looks really good on ya. And then there's this clip that's been making the rounds on Reddit of Hex and Scump winning a bunch of money on their online casino, but they don't look very excited. I mean, if I just won hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'd be running through the halls of my $1 million house. They couldn't care less. Almost as if all this is set up for them to win. Almost like it's all rigged in their favor. But not for you. No. Please remember to use code SCUMP so you can get an additional 10% on your first deposit on ROOBET. But you won't have the same odds I do. You won't have the same rigged casino I have. But let's finish this off with the comments under the video were representative of the community sentiment around this situation. One wrote, "I don't know how anyone can look at these two the same again. This is beyond cringe." Another said, "Been a fan for over a decade. I'm truly disappointed." And honestly, I think that's how the majority of us feel. We're disappointed with this decision. We're disappointed with this action by OpTiC. The article finishes off with saying, "Bag or no bag, this is an alienation step that doesn't look good and will not be forgotten quickly by fans." So there you have it. It's very clear that OpTiC has sold out in favor of gambling. And it's not like they're doing it in person, they're doing it on an online casino that seems to be rigged in their favor. At least that's how it is portrayed so far. So I'm going to turn the question over to you. Do you really care about this? Is this something that changes your perception of the guys over at OpTiC, maybe changes your perception of Nadeshot? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. For me, the thing that makes me the most upset here is the fact that none of these guys seem to understand their influence. And this is where I always say that people with big followings need to be responsible and need to take some accountability when they have large followings. You have to understand the weight of your influence, and it's very clear these guys don't, or they just simply don't care. They're fine shilling out for some extra money as long as they get the money, while not really caring how it affects their fans. Like, honestly, I'm looking at this and saying the majority of fans that OpTic Scump has, or OpTic Hex, they're impressionable kids. They're people under the age of 18, and should we really be pushing gambling on them? But not only that, let's say you're above the age of 18 and you can gamble legally. Is it really smart to be looking up to somebody who's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in a casino to try to get you to also spend what little money you might have as an 18, 19-year-old? Like, none of these partnerships ever really promote gambling responsibly, because the money that's being tossed around and used is extremely irresponsible for the average person. But everybody wants to chase the win that they see their favorite influencers get. So it's extremely shady and extremely frustrating. And like I said earlier, I follow gambling accounts. I watch gambling content here on YouTube. I'm not going to go about and chase some of the big wins that Vegas Matt has on high limits slots. I'm just not going to do that. I understand the weight of that. But I'm also in my 30s. I know what my limits are for gambling. I do have a problem with the influences these people have when it comes to kids under 18 or even kids under 25 that don't understand the weight of spending a ton of money and eventually getting a gambling problem. But I mean, there's no escaping gambling at all, it seems. I mean, you watch sports nowadays, it's gambling everywhere. And it does get a little frustrating because it is going to influence a younger generation to always make sure they're gambling and always make sure they're losing money. At the end of the day, this ROOBET partnership is all about getting your money from you to ROOBET. And if OpTic can help out, ROOBET's extremely happy. And they understand that they have an impressionable audience, so it's easy to go after them. They see their favorite content creators gambling on ROOBET, now they're going to go on ROOBET and gamble themselves. It's a vicious cycle, and unfortunately, it's not something that I think is really responsible when you have this type of following. Especially when you didn't grow your following from gambling. You did it through Call of Duty, which might be one of the most popular video games ever. So of course you're going to have a wider array of different personalities and fans that follow you. So all in all, I really dislike this decision. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's inherently greedy. And I think it should have long-term ramifications. Like, honestly, if I was a sponsor with OpTiC, I would consider pulling out. That's how serious I would take this. But of course no one will, because everyone just wants money at the end of the day. And it just shows how greedy people are and just how much everybody has tossed integrity and responsibility out the window. So that's it for the video today. I don't really have much more to say here on this other than if you are somebody who gambles, please do it responsibly. If you have a problem, there are a ton of places you can go, a ton of resources, and I'll even extend myself as a resource as well. I'm more than willing to help people that have problems, more than willing to be an option for somebody. More than happy to do that. Because yeah, I really think that gambling is something that can destroy your life if not done responsibly. So this is just one of the things that I will extend to you guys. But that's it for the video today. That's all I've got to say on this topic. It's very disappointing, very frustrating, and I hope that we see changes very soon. So that's it for the video. Thanks again. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. That's all. We'll talk again soon.